So last up, we have an app that's, the industry of software engineering is very complicated, especially in the hiring department. And so we have an application called NodeMachine that is going to help us with that. Let's go take a look at what that looks like.
Welcome, I'm Sam here with Sofia, Dennis, and Mercedes, and we are the team behind NodeMachine. I'd like you to imagine that you're a recruiter looking for top-level developers, frustrated by the time-consuming and inaccurate task of manually sifting through resumes. Now I'd like you to imagine that you're a developer, equally frustrated by having to qualify and quantify your skills to impress hiring managers. Isn't there a better way to do this? NodeMachine sets out to bridge this divide between organizations and engineers. We created NodeMachine to be a platform to enable developers to stay up to date with the most cutting-edge interview questions and to log objective data from these problems. This performance data can then be viewed by recruiters and hiring managers. Hand in hand with our business portal, recruiters also have access to not only a pool of ranked developer talent, but also the ability to communicate with and test candidates remotely, streamlining the qualifying process. I will now hand you over to Sofia, who will demonstrate NodeMachine in action.
Thank you, Sam. Now let's take Mike. Mike is preparing for his technical interview. He needs a platform to hone his coding skills and showcase these skills to recruiters. Enter NodeMachine. When he first goes to our site, he can see a collection of problems with associated difficulty level. He knows he needs to practice working with strings, so he narrows down the categories. When he's chosen a problem, he's taken to a screen with a code editor where he can enter his solution. Mike makes an attempt, but when he runs the code, he realizes it's not passing the test specs. He decides to return after a good meditation session to clear his mind. And that's no problem. With NodeMachine, his code will be saved and he can pick up where he left off. When he returns to the site, he can see the problems he's attempted, and now that with a clear mind, he makes another attempt and he's passing all the tests. Excellent. Now his score is updated on his profile and he can see a breakdown of problems he's completed by difficulty and category. Now let's take it over to Dennis, who's going to talk to us a little bit about our company portal.
Thank you, Sofia. As was previously mentioned, our app is targeted not only towards developers, but also companies. So let's say a hypothetical manager called Sam at Peachsoft Inc. wants to hire a new developer for a recently opened position. Finding the right talent is hard. That's why our app lets companies select the highest ranked developers and test them with customized problems. When Sam logs in, he can see the list of developers and their scores, which tells him about their performance. From this screen, he can add them to the list and delete later if necessary. So Sam notices this young programmer called Bill Gates, and he wants to add him to the list for future consideration. As we all know, different companies require different skill sets. So that's why we provide an opportunity for companies to select custom-built problems and send them to developers to test their skills with company-specific tasks. In this particular case, Sam wants to test if Bill can successfully multiply numbers by 5. So the problem was created and it's added to the profile. From here, he can send the link to developers, and now Mercedes will tell you what powers our NodeMachine.
Thank you, Dennis. The client side of NodeMachine was built with React, Redux, D3, and AceEditor for user input. We utilize Firebase for data storage and AWS S3 for hosting profile pictures. Our server was built in Node and utilizes libraries such as Express and Puppeteer. We run a user's solution code in headless Chrome against our tests. This provides a layer of security from malicious code. All of this is contained inside a Docker image, which is deployed to Heroku via Heroku's container registry. Our biggest challenge was combining Docker, Heroku, and Puppeteer. Chrome has specific permissions that Docker by default disables. However, we're able to accomplish this thanks to our dedicated team and their hard work and creativity. Thank you so much for getting to know more about our app, and we look forward to seeing you on NodeMachine. Also, feel free to check out our GitHub. Thank you.
Oh, it's really interesting how they solved the problem of executing arbitrary user code by using headless Chrome. That's just something that I haven't seen done before. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, very similar. We had algorithms, which was the team that actually used web workers to solve the issue, and now we have this group, NodeMachine, that actually used an alternative by using headless Chrome as well as hosting it on a Docker image, which is really impressive.
Yeah, and the advantage of using a Docker container to run this code is that you can, with a Docker container, say, okay, you only get so much CPU, you only get so much time, you only get so much disk space, so much RAM, and by pinning it in that way, it makes it much more difficult for a malicious user to cause problems.
Yeah, I think the project itself solves a really good problem. I think it has a really good use case for not only students, but companies that exist out there. I'm really impressed by this app, especially following these students straight from junior phase into senior phase. And watching all these projects grow has been really amazing. And watching all these students grow both as people, but also as developers, it really warms my heart.
Yeah, and you've been with the 1904 full stack cohort the whole time, and now you're finally seeing the fruits of your labor, and it's really been a great demo day today. We've seen all of these amazing projects, and is there anything that you want to say overall?
Yeah, I just think the demo day has been amazing. I want to, my heartfelt message to the students is they've done a very amazing job. I've seen them, go through from junior phase to senior phase and really grow as individuals. And I'm really looking forward to see what they can do out in the real world with all the amazing skills they've learned here at Full Stack.
And Demo Day wouldn't happen without our technical team, Tracy and Chris. So